Viva Las Vegas! Welcome to round 17 of the World Championship. And ALR have not been here for many times before, have they? I think they've only been here for two times or something like that. But it's going to be fantastic, isn't it? And by the way, happy Polar Bear Week as well. So really cool stuff indeed. That's flashed up on me. That's flashed up on me laptop, which is always always a good thing to do. Let's go through the drivers and the constructors then, as we getting drivers coming in and out of the lobby. Alexen is not here, believe it or not. So he's left us, well, Farf in charge, which is always a scary thing to do. But of course, if it goes wrong, we'll blame Smithy and Farf, I reckon. Let's go through the drivers and the constructors, because potentially we could have a champion crown tonight, or a championship crown tonight. But let's go for the drivers first then. And of course, when we left Brazil after gold, the gap was a little higher. It's now down to 22 points, and I'm getting a Max Verstappen vibes here in the World Championship. Immortal has now got a 20-point gap over Sam Swift Ninja. Again, things have still got to go the way of Sam Swift Ninja. But in the last couple of races, Sam Swift has been on an absolute tear, hasn't he? Winning the last two races and coming third in the race before, whilst Immortal has slumped a bit as he's getting Oscar Piastri kind of slumped at the moment there. So hopefully Immortal, from Immortal's fan point of view, is going to get himself back up there. Oh, of course, from a neutral point of view, you want some Swift Ninja in there, don't you? Bravett then, of course, is third position. Of course, he got his win rescinded, didn't he, last month? We'll talk about that in just a jiffy. Flippy on 188 points, 134 for Percy. Van Von on 74 points, 37. Then a massive gap of 37 points between Van Von and Nameless, who's in seventh position. Equals on 36. And then we have got. Boxstar on 31 then with Lights also on 31 as well, but Lights and I think Boxstar's not racing here tonight, which is basically condemning Mercedes to bottom of the constructors, unfortunately. Well, they're not constructors yet, they're not bottom yet though. And then we've got Shrivasta in on 23 points there, and then we've got Legends on 16, 11 for Cam, 11 for Morris. Great drive last time out for Morris, getting some really good points there. Knowlesy on 4-3 for Chaz, then 1 for Brooksy. Mad Max, Potstuff and Delando have not scored yet then, albeit of course there's some new drivers in that gaggle as well then. Hello to Cody, of course, good afternoon, or was it good evening then potentially? Of course, I think as we're just coming out of Halloween and going into Bonfire, aren't we? So, exciting times here at the end of the year in the UK. Constructors Championship, Racing Balls, basically what Kick Sauber needs a massive score tonight, and of course Equals and ALR, and of course Sam just chilling in the top 10, so that's exactly what the Kick Sauber needs, a massive score, because the gap needs to be under 52 points then for Kick Sauber to keep the Constructors Championship going on there, which 71, 61, 51. Ooh, yeah, basically they need two drivers to to score high. Haas in third position on 112, Alpine on 209, 191 for the McLaren team, then 110 for Red Bull. Then we've got Ferrari on 60 points, Mercedes on 59. I don't think many of the Mercedes drivers are here tonight, so of course, and reserve drivers cannot score. So Mercedes could be potentially being overtaken by Aston Martin on 48 points and 28 points for the Williams team, with Williams only only got one driver racing tonight as well. In the Constructors Championship, whoops, I've just broke something there, that's not good. Sorry, in the Joint Constructors, then of course it's the closest the Joint Constructors has ever been in ALR history. Usually the Joint Constructors is normally wrapped up around this time now, but it ain't going to be wrapped up tonight, and it may not even be wrapped up this week. Racing Bulls leads the way then on 748 points, 720 points for McLaren, Mercedes, Alpine, not Renault, I wish, on 662 points, and Williams on 648 points to 620 points for Aston Martin, 553 points for the Ferrari team, then 7 points away is the Kick Sauber, hopefully to get back in front of the Scuderia at the end of tonight at the race here in Las Vegas. Of course, we raced on the strip. Fantastic. 504 points for Haas team, 340 points for the Red Bull, and then Mercedes on 210. It's been a horror show season for the Mercedes, hasn't it? Which has been which has been not very impressive at all throughout the whole of the championships, really, hasn't it? Whoops, I've just kicked me Super Nintendo then, or was it the SNES? Of course, give the old stream a like, because that helps the anagram and all that kind of stuff, which is all cracking stuff from my point of view, because it pays for my Christmas presents, which is all exciting stuff, is indeed, isn't it? Right, in terms of Las Vegas over the last couple of years, then we have only raced on this circuit twice, and in the last two races we had Troy who won back in season 9, and in season 11 it was Immortal who won. Sam Swift Ninja got pole position in the only time he has raced around here, of course, but Immortal did take the victory, and of course victory here tonight will set him up nicely for maybe taking the title in Qatar in a week's time. Then we've had 2 weeks off, and I'm wondering how the 2 weeks is going to help or hinder the championship rivals, because this is going to get very interesting, I think, for the remainder of the season. I have no doubt. I forgot to take my jumper off. That's not good at all. Last season, or the season before pole position time around here, is a 1:32.99. Basically, it's a pointed squirt circuit. It's a long blast down the strip, and of course, there's also a long back straight as well out of turn 2 or turn 3 or whatever it is into turn 4 or 5. So so there's going to be a lot of, I reckon there's going to be a lot of low downforce areas in this circuit tonight. Then, in terms of the championship, it is very much then set up nicely for the remainder of the season. Immortal and the tail of the tape, Immortal and Sam Swift Ninja, 10 podiums between them. In terms of pole positions, it's more lopsided. Immortal's had 9 pole positions in 17 qualifying attempts this season, while Sam Swift Ninja has only had 2. Whilst the Grand Prix wins at very much nip and tuck as well, with of course 6 pole positions for 6 wins for Sam Swift Ninja, 7 wins there for Immortal. My goodness gracious me. It is going to get very interesting indeed. And of course, one DNF from Sunset Ninja, which I think was a disconnect, wasn't it? That Immortals had no DNFs yet, then, of course, for Immortal. But as we mentioned at the top of the show, then, of course, Brabbit did not, as unfortunately got his win taken off him. Was it taken off him rightly or wrongly so? Of course, there was a lot of controversy around that. I think that was the biggest controversy we've had in terms of a incident in quite a long while, to be fair. Of course, the admins did release a statement, and of course, it will all be reviewed. Of course, the racing rules and regs and all that will be reviewed at the end of the year and all that kind of stuff. But of course, it was. I think that I don't think the incident was on the live footage. But it was between Percy and Brabbit. That of course, Sam Swift Ninja also was slightly aggrieved with his overtake on the outside, coming out to turn 4 and up into turn 6 of the Brazilian Grand Prix as well. So a lot of controversy, and ironically, Immortal's teammate was the one that cost Brabbit that win, which has given Sam Swift Ninja an extra 7 points. Good luck all from ALR Esports as well. I'm not sure if that's Farf or Alexander from Brazil. Of course, I hope he's packed his umbrella and some waterproofs, because it looks quite miserable in Brazil next weekend, which is great stuff for us and great stuff for Max Verstappen as well, isn't it? So looking forward to that one. Oh my goodness gracious me. As we're starting, the countdown is on then for the start of Las Vegas. And as I mentioned, it's only the 3rd time that we have visited Las Vegas here in ALR. I must admit, I was quite upset that it wasn't on the calendar last season. I was indeed, because I quite enjoy this circuit. But as you can see, it's quite a simple circuit, and it's like that Spider Pig, isn't it? Really nice. We got rain there for some reason. I don't think it got rain in the actual race yet, and of course the race hasn't loaded up yet. Then of course we do have random weather effects. But when this was recorded, there was rain on the horizon. And of course, you can see that it's like the upside down Spider Pig. Then, of course, it's a long blast, and of course, we go past the sphere as well. And of course, 2 DRS zones down in between turn 4 and 5, and of course, on the strip as well, the legendary strip then, which is going to get very interesting indeed. As we are here for is this our 3rd American race of the season? I think it is. Good stuff indeed. Then it's not raining in the Grand Prix itself. Of course, we also have a couple of debutants here tonight as well, in the form of Gary Hannington, who was incredible in 100% and in bronze. Really good stuff indeed there. So making his debut tonight in gold as well. Also, we have got Cody, who of course has raced in other disciplines in ALR, but his debut tonight in gold, I believe, because I haven't seen his name on me all-time list. And we have a full-blown debutant, of course, Tom Huffy, who of course only just submitted his Tom Tars stuff and has gone straight in the deep end in gold as well tonight. Then, so interesting stuff. 19 cars in this one. We've got 4 reserve drivers, and it's going to get very interesting as those reserve drivers are going to cause any mischief then, which of course always makes it more exciting. But a Motor really then needs to stop the rot, doesn't he? Because currently, in terms of the form at the moment for a Motor, it is a Motor in the last 3 races, while Sam Swift Ninja has 18 points then for a Motor in the last 3 races, while Sam Swift Ninja has scored 68 points then. As I said, then it's very similar to then, of course, to the real world of Formula 1, isn't it? It's very interesting stuff then, and my goodness gracious me, I cannot wait. I've also got a new table now as well, which is all cool stuff, which hopefully will help me back then. I won 400 Amazon vouchers for winning People's Choice in work. Then, so of course, I'm a bit of a bragger, but of course that's got me a lot of new furniture, which is all cool stuff indeed. Here comes Tom Huffy. Then. Welcome to ALR, Huffy. I hope you have a great race. Of course, I got to say, because I must say I don't really do the evaluations and stuff like that normally, and normally that's usually a Knowlesy thing. It used to be Brooksy's thing, but it doesn't do it much anymore. But yeah, normally it's the other more important admins. So I got to say, I got a slight favouritism then with Huffy. So he was my first or second evaluation kind of thing. Then 3 rounds to go in this World Championship there, and I must say the pressure is going to be very much paramount here tonight. Of course, tonight we're in Las Vegas. We go back to the Middle East then to finish off the World Championship there here in Las Vegas, then in Qatar, which is a tough and technical circuit. Huffy starts his lap now. As we go on board, Huffy's going to take us around a lap here in Las Vegas. Then we go into Qatar, and very tight and twisty. 1 DRS zone around here is completely different there to this circuit here, which is very much a high power circuit. And before we head into Abu Dhabi then, and all 3 championships at the moment is very much nip and tuck. Then I would not dare to bait him, because you all know about the commentator's curse, but I would not dare to guess about who is going to be crowned champion. However, in terms of the Racing Bull tonight, which of course Huffy is driving the Racing Bull, albeit he would not be eligible for constructors' points then. Of course, reserve drivers are not eligible for constructors' points, are they? Mainly because that rule came into place, I think it was Bronze Season 6. Basically, the Ferrari won the Constructors' Championship because even though they only had 1 driver that was basically racing for them all season, which was New Potato, and his teammate just went MIA, and basically his teammate basically raced 3 or 4 times, and then the rest of the time it was scored by reserve drivers. Yellow flag out there, qualifying yellow flags. Not too worried about it. We'd be concerned about in the races. Oh God, you lot again, Serious Mushroom. Of course, Serious Mushroom has missed me. Of course, I have no doubt about that then. It's coming out of the strip and coming up into the start-finish line now. Then, of course, it's the only permanent part of the circuit, of course, which I think F1 rented this part, didn't they? To get the old grid hatching, the old grid and pit paddock and complex going then. As Huffy is on pole position. And just like I say that, Hannington then is currently got pole position. Then Legends has gone faster still by half a second there, well less than that. Then Equals goes pole position as well. This circuit is going to be very much confidence building, I feel then. Of course, the circuit will clean up, the track will clean up and ramp up then as this session goes on. But I do feel that also it's going to be confidence very much building up to get a good lap. And Cody is the slowest time runner so far. Nameless has gone fast. Savasta is currently fast mode, and Serious Mushroom, I've missed you, Sean, with every bullet so far. I gotta say, Mushroom, you've got a terrible aim then, because I'm quite a thick boy, so I don't know how you've missed me with every bullet then. You must have a terrible aim, my good sir. Flippy's got the second fastest. What the hell, by the way, from Flippy? Of course, Flippy won it of course, a newest Grand Prix winner in ALR this season. Remember, he was a silver champion last season, Flippy was, so he probably does know what the 2 championship protagonists of a Motor and of love that McLaren design, fantastic. Of course, a Malta and Sam Swift Ninja are feeding then. As we just heard in the comments from Eckhart, the Sam Swift Ninja is very quick in the practice times out there. There's been no official ALR practice tonight because when Alex is away, I forgot to settle that there, which is shocking stuff indeed. Brabbit has gone fastest, and of course, I'm thinking that Brabbit's going to be feeling a bit aggrieved about the last race's result then, where he was. Where I must admit, I personally feel that was a wrong decision then by the stewards then. But of course, the stewards' word is final. But I do feel that Brabbit was robbed of that Grand Prix win. Sam Swift Ninja though would not give two hoots about that, because Sam Swift Ninja there very much needs every point he can. And the gap is down to 22 points in the World Championship. Across the line, fastest there by a tenth of a second from Brabbit in second position here. What about Immortal? Immortal found his championship rifle. Look at that then. And it's less than a tenth of a second separates the two championship protagonists in this qualifying session. Good gracious me. This is going to get very interesting indeed. By the way, in terms of Mad Max has become a full-time Alpine driver for the remainder of the season. So welcome to Mad Max. And Alpine have basically uprooted both their drivers. I wonder if they might think about. I wonder if Flavio Briatore might think about doing that in real life. Albeit, I think Colapinto, as Mad Max has damaged his car somewhere, I think that Colapinto is being confirmed actually for next season, I believe. Tulu has gone 10 fastest there. Good stuff indeed there. So I feel that this is a good opportunity to get some points on the board, maybe for the likes of Delano, who was very unlucky not to score. Was it in Brazil potentially a couple of weeks ago? I can't remember what's. I can't remember what most of Brazil, because I have slept. I've basically been in hibernation for 2 weeks as well. Charles are then coming down the back straight. Of course, the shorter of the two long straights around here. Now going, there you can see the spear there. And of course, drivers say that they don't get distracted by the spear, but when I'm driving around here, I must say I usually crash around the spear, and it's probably because I'm looking at that lovely smiling face there. I don't think Chaz is going to be concerned about that smiling face at the moment though. Hashtag justice for Brabbit then. As coming up to the Twisted Part circuit. I think Lando Norris crashed here in the first ever Las Vegas Grand Prix in 2023, I think. What's his name? Goodness gracious, time flies so young. But as I mentioned then, we've only had 2 races around here before in ALR, so this is the 3rd visit. Then of course we've had 2 different race winners. We are not whatever happens tonight, Troy will not win his 2nd race in Las Vegas because he's not here tonight, and because I think he's basically giving up his seat sadly. Better not let me down, Mad Max, says Serious Mushroom. Of course, Serious Mushroom, of course, the head honcho. He's basically on Flavio Briatore of the Alpine team in the joint constructors for ALR. Chaza then down the strip out of the final corner. Of course, doing a Colapinto there. Unlike Colapinto, though, Chaza just gives it a glancing kiss on the arc. Across the line, and Chaza goes 13 fast there in front of Haddington at the boat there with Delano in 15th position, Huffy in 16th. I'm going to call Tom Huff, and I, by the end of this one. Of course, Rob Huff was a famous touring car driver, wasn't he? A few seasons ago in the British touring car. I say a few seasons ago, probably about a decade now, wasn't it? Goodness me. Gosh. And also many congratulations, Charles Leclerc and his now fiance, who just announced their engagement, I think, on Instagram as well. Albeit I wasn't really interested. No disrespect there to the new Mrs. Leclerc, but I of course was more interested about trying to work out how to do the drive of the day posts for Instagram, because I've been left in charge of that, which is always going to go wrong, isn't it? Goodness me. I think that Alex is going to lose faith in us by the time he comes back. Of course, Knowlesy, of course, the head boss then, is in Brazil at the moment there, sunning himself down. I have no doubt about that at all. On the Brazilian beaches, of course, I've also been watching the Brazilian Grand Prix, or Sao Paulo Grand Prix, it's called that. Filippi was on a quick lap, I thought, but is abandoned it, I think. Shazza not on a quick lap then. So on board Legends currently in 12th position there. Legends is going to be playing quite a pivotal role in this one tonight, because of course the Legends needs to score. Sauber needs to score at least 30 odd points in this race tonight to keep the Constructors' Championship alive, and that's without the Red Bull, the Racing Bulls even scoring that. Racing Bull only has 1 eligible driver tonight then, so Legends there hopefully will be able to score 7 points tonight, but Sauber's biggest points hoe over the course of the season has only been 29 points, which was in the Brazilian Grand Prix last week. So, and so they need more than that if they want to keep the Constructors' Championship alive. Then. But let's see how this one transpires. Hello to Camera Race there with the 10 yours as well. Good luck to all the races as well from Camera Race. With that 10 yours that will be going into my piggy bank then for hopefully for some chocolate. Then, of course, I digress. I've had too much chocolate. Of course, being out trick or treating. I hope you all had a lovely Halloween as well. I certainly did, and of course it's firework night now as well, isn't it? Coming up soon. I think we've already in the area I'm living in at the moment, in the old Brook and Dry Brook, which is actually Blaymore Village. Then I think they've already had some fireworks going on for tonight. To be fair, come across the line. Cam goes 11 fastest, just a whisker outside the top 10 moment. Half distance in this qualifying session at the moment, as Morris goes to 16 fastest. So I think Morris will be hoping to build on that Brazilian Grand Prix, Sao Paulo Grand Prix performance, but unfortunately down in 16th position there. That's not ideal. Savasta has currently gone third fastest, but then as we've just seen someone climb up the order as well. That was, I think, Nameless going up into 7th fast in the Aston Martin. Of course, Aston Martin will be hoping to try and overtake the Mercedes by the end of the season, and with Mercedes drivers that have gone MIA. Both drivers have not raced since Azerbaijan. The last driver to race was Young Lights, and Box hasn't raced since Italy. So the Mercedes team then really have they've gone MIA, really, haven't they? So Mercedes are kind of vulnerable now, aren't they? Which is also not going to help them in the joint constructors as well. But it is what it is, I suppose. Even though I won't be a happy Mercedes driver. As just watching Flippy going down the strip now as well. This is where we're going to see a lot of the overtaking. Of course, it is quite wide down there, is it? But I must say that it's Immortals on pole position. Then he's found a couple of tenths. So he's found 3/10 of a second as Immortal. Potsup's gone 7 fast there. Immortal's in front of his championship rival at the moment there. But of course, I think that qualifying the last couple of races has not been the problem for Immortal. Of course, he had pole position, not in Sao Paulo, but he did in USA and Azerbaijan. Van Von has gone second fastest. Flippy has gone third fastest. Sam Swift Ninja has dropped down to 4th, but he's a 10th of a second up in the first intermediate split time. Here is the triple world champion, Sam Swift Ninja, through the sphere section there. Of course, this is very much point and squirt and very twisty part of the circuit there, of course, with the low downforce rear wings as well. It's going to be it's very difficult to maneuver this car, isn't it? Of course, Sam Swift Ninja hoping to keep the Constructors' Championship alive, but I think he's fully focused on that Drivers' Championship. 22 points is the gap between Sam Swift Ninja and Immortal in the Drivers' Championship. Sam Swift Ninja's never lost a championship, which he has been a part of in ALR. Season 10, 11, and 12 World Champion. Immortal has been very much thrown the gauntlet down this season, and so far he's been incredible. But in the last couple of races, it has been a wobble. It has been a wobble, and Sam Swift Ninja has experience of winning at this level. And of course, a triple world champion, and hoping to cover 4-time champion as well. But of course, Immortal did win the 100% championship a few seasons ago, didn't he? So he might be able to extract some performance. Sam Swift Ninja's out of bounds there, and that's invalidated his time there. He cut the corner, the final corner then, by the minutest of margins, but that is cost Sam Swift Ninja his second run. With, I don't know how long's on the clock. Let's have a look then. Last time we looked at it was 7 minutes. But Sam Swift Ninja then, so all of a sudden put a lot of pressure on himself as the world champion. However, I'd say that the race has been very much where Sam Swift Ninja's got the edge over Immortal. But Zach, we've got a yellow flag out there still, because there's a very slow crawling Van Von, who is currently second fast at the moment. I'm hoping that we'll see the time in a minute. There, Cody's invalidated someone there. What about Tom Huffy then coming out of the final turn? Sorry, not out of the strip then, and it's coming down the hill as well. He's got is it a hill? I don't really know, to be honest. But whatever the case may be, he's got a lot of deployment on the DRS and he wouldn't have got pole anyway, says Serious Mushroom. He's got more yellow flags. I don't think, no, he wouldn't have got pole position, but I think he would have been in front of Flippy and Van Vonnen on the front row of the grid. As Huffy then getting an almighty amount of opposite lock there, and I think that time has been ruined there for Huffy. He was a 10th for a second down on his personal best, but with 3 minutes to go in his qualifying session. But of course, I think that he had a lot of deployment left there for Huffy, but sadly into the pits now, down in 19th position at the moment. Cam is out on circuit. circuit. 12 minutes ago in this qualifying session. Good luck, Gold, and love you at lot short. It's at Nosy, I'm sure. It's missing me whilst he's sipping a margarita on the beautiful sand beaches of Sao Paulo in Brazil. And quite scarily, he's trusted me with the social medias, which is not going to go too well. Is that I think my social media rights got restricted a few years ago. To be fair, I think Welsh Madonna took over for her, and then that Nosy took over for her. Is just watching Cam over. Just watching and Camden is trying to warm up those tyres. And 2.5 minutes to go in this qualifying session now, and I got to say I forgot to take my jumper off as well, which is not ideal, is it? No, on a quick lap at the moment, 2.5 minutes ago in this qualifying session. Tonight, I'm going to be quite heavily looking at the World Championship battle. I apologise to you folks then out there, but I think Immortal and Samsung Ninja is going to get very interesting indeed. 2 minutes ago in this qualifying session, it's a 90-second odd lap around here. So if you're going to have to go out, you're going to have to get out there now. You're going to have to go and get your skates on there. And of course, remember what happened? Was it Austin, where there's a load of drivers that missed the cut-off there? So we do not want to see that, do we? Of course, real Austin. I don't in ALR, our drivers don't do that because our drivers are very much more forward thinking. Across the line there comes Cam then, 12th on the grid at the moment there. Is grid position going to be crucial around here? Well, you would say with the big old DRS on the strip, and of course also this part of the DRS as well. And there's our Aston Martin. I was wondering if we're going to get a little cheeky slipstream. That was okay. I think that Cam would have liked more from his teammate there. Nevertheless, he got a bit of it. Every little helps, I suppose. That's what they say in Asda. Alex, get back home. Sean's messing up again. How dare you? I would have been on air for 10 minutes. But let's be honest about it. You'll know when it goes wrong. When the classification all that's completely messed up. Oh, I haven't been nervous. So Cam then cut into the second sector now. The second sector split time is up to the next corner here. I haven't learned the corner numbers around here, which is not very good at all, is it really? I should probably have studied the track map. But to be fair, I was enjoying. What was I enjoying? What was I doing? A quarter, 3/10 of a second up then was Cam. Oh yes, I was doing my team career actually, which I also forgot to do practice. But whilst I was doing that, I forgot I was doing it really, and of course I was trying to get David Coulthard back to the pinnacle of motorsport. And hopefully get his world championship with my team. Right, here comes Cam then. He does want to hear about my team. Hawk's giving a jump then, of course. This part of the circuit is so narrow, isn't it? Cam may have just given the barrier a slight kiss there, but nothing more than that. And that hasn't slowed Cam down. He's found 3/10 of a second in his pocket. It's going to be a good time. It's a great time from Cam. He's on the third row of the grid in 5th position and a 30.6. He'll be delighted with that performance there from Cam. That's his 4th lap in qualifying. We don't do number of laps in qualifying anymore, sadly, do we? I think that with those hour-long qualifying sessions, sadly, I do quite like the new qualifying session. Delando's gone 14 fastest there in the Friday and hoping to score some points in the final couple of races there for Delano. It's been a difficult season though for Delano, of course, the former bronze world champion. You do not lose. Oh, it's Morris has had an issue, and that's it for his qualifying attempt then. As I think that qualifying is done and dusted. Brabbit currently 7th at the moment. Here comes Brabbit. Got McLaren and the second half in the background. Here comes Brabbit coming over to the line. Brabbit pole position there. He's going for 2 for 2. And he's currently, as Charles has gone 15 fastest, but Brabbit's on pole position. What a manoeuvre. Morris out of qualifying. What a manoeuvre. Brabbit's on pole position. As here comes Immortal. He's found 2/10 of a second then. Can Immortal reclaim that pole position again? His 10th of the season. He is so quick in qualifying. Out of the final turn then. Is he going to get pole? Yes, he does. And by just under a 10th of a second. A mega lap from the championship leader. Mega stuff indeed. As Van Von has gone into second fastest. What a qualifying this has been. Van Von is currently on the front row of the grid. Flippy is invalidated. Soundswift Ninja, half a second. He's in the ballpark. Soundswift Ninja then, who of course has struggled in qualifying this season, then he's going to be up to the line. And that is pole position there by 2/10 of a second. Oh, mega stuff indeed. Mega stuff indeed from Sam Swift Ninja, and he is on pole position for the United States Grand Prix. and that is a gauntlet being thrown down. 22 points separates the championship protagonists, and they're on the front row of the grid. Of course, we have got just 78 points left in the championship, but Sam Swift Ninja pole position, number 3 of the season. That is his first pole position since Japan of round 2 for Sam Swift Ninja. Mega stuff indeed. And of course, tonight where Sauber needs to score some high points, they need to score over 30 points, I believe, to keep the Constructors' Championship fight alive. Sam Swift Ninja's 11th pole position of his career, his 3rd of the season, and his first pole position since the Japanese Grand Prix. Remember, he started off the season so well in qualifying. Incredible stuff indeed there. Sam Swift Ninja for 11th pole position, Immortal alongside him on row 1. Championship protagonist. That's incredible. With Van Vort in 3rd, Brabant in 4th position. Flippy didn't get a final run in, unfortunately. Pot stuff, great stuff for the Williams team there. Of course, they're at the bottom of the constructors. That's good stuff. Cam with Savasta, with Nameless and Equals completes the top 10 there in terms of the whole grid is separated by 2.1 seconds there. I give Brabant a toe, says Indigo then. What a time then. I'll give you toes then, says Serious Bishop. Please send them in my DMs. Incredible. Right then, as we get on to the start of the Grand Prix, only 25 laps around here, so this race should fly by. Of course, it's quite a high top-end race, this one is, it's top-end speed as well, so this one is going to be quite a quick Grand Prix. Next week is not going to be as quick. There's quite a low average speed in Qatar, and I've been, what am I saying? I don't know. I'm, to be honest, this is my first time I'm speaking to anyone then in 2 weeks, as I have been removed out of me slumber. Where's me squash? Oh no. At this moment, Sauber basically needs to score at least 30 points to keep the championship alive. So they need to score 29 points then, actually, to be precise. That's without the Racing Bulls scoring. And of course, they scored 29 points last time out in Sao Paulo. Everyone is on the medium compound tires. So that was quite easy, wasn't it? Let's go for the grid. Sam Swift Ninja, 11th pole position of his car. And his 3rd pole position of the season, his first one since Japan. And remember, Sam Swift Ninja was incredible in that race, wasn't he? Absolutely incredible, Sam Swift Ninja. And this is where he's really hitting peak form now for the championship. Sebastian's been disqualified. That's not good. Immortal's alongside him on row 1. Immortal, I wonder if he might just have to play the percentage game here, because Sam Swift Ninja has been pretty quick then in terms of the time trial practice times. And of course, getting pole position is a rare sight for Sam Swift Ninja this season, but goodness gracious me, when he does get pole position, he's gone on to win. Van Von in 3rd position there, with Brabant in 4th. For the Haas driver, 5th position is Flippy, with Potstuff in 6th position. Can Potstuff, who hasn't scored any points yet, albeit he's only made 2 race appearances this season. Cam in 7th position, Savasta in 8th, Nameless in 9th position, and 10th position is Equals. Mad Max just outside the top 10 in 11th position there, with Legends in 12th position there. So can Legends there put his hat in the ring then and keep the Constructors' Championship alive for another week at least? 13th position is Tulu. Hannington down in 14th position there, with Delando in 15th, with Chazza in 16th, Huffy in 17th on their debut, Morris in 18th, and 19th is Cody. 19 cars on the grid then for the Las Vegas Grand Prix, and I cannot wait for this one. This is going to be pretty good. I think this is going to be quite epic, this one is. On board with Sam Swift Ninja, and the gap at the World Championship is down to 22 points. It's under a Grand Prix win now. Of course, we're going to keep repeating there. In the last 3 races, Sam Swift Ninja has won 2 and come second there. Of course, whilst Immortal's only been 6, which was in the United States Grand Prix, and then he was 7th in Sao Paulo and was 8th in Azerbaijan. So it's dropped. Immortal's dropped off the boil ever so slightly, and I think that he's also overshot his grid box as well. Not ideal. Here on board with Cody then, as he is just letting Morris through as well. Long back straight is going to be key here, says Serious Mushroom. Absolutely. Sam Swift Ninja then must do his best Vessel impression now. Gap the drivers behind him. Get out of DRS there. And then we're all ready then. As a very unique situation here. Of course, half the grid is around the corner then, and that might hurt the traction there. But lights are on then, and we resume the battle then. Here in ALR, it is lights out, and it is go here in Las Vegas then. And it's a short run down into turn 1 then. Sam Sam Swift Ninjas had the perfect start, whilst Immortal is going to be under pressure from Van Von and Brabbit as well, and there's contact between the two on the second row of the grid there, but Brabbit has retained his second position, as we've got Equals up 3 positions. Fantastic. Cam's on a terrible start for the second Aston Martin. Oh my goodness me, a great start for Equals and a great start for Hannington and Delando. As Chaz has dropped down yours as well. Nameless has dropped down majorly then, and look at this, and who is that on the Aston Martin of Cam trying to get his way back past the Williams driver? Oh my goodness gracious me then. Nameless is at the back of the field, and the Mad Max is at the back of the field as well. They both were starting quite close together, so they have made contact there. Huffy's having fighting with the Aston Martin. Nameless is trying to get back through. Huffy's dropped down the order, back in the front, and the gap is already 8/10 of a second with Immortal in second position there. Third is Van Von with Brabbit in 4th. Flippy is in 5th position with Potstuff 6th. Equals in 7th there with Savasta in 8th, and it's called that quarter can very much catch out the unwary. You got to be very much on your toes, don't you? Already the gap is already up to a second then. The DRS will be available at the end of this lap then, and Sam Swift Ninja is trying to make a breakaway already, isn't it, as we come down the strip then, but Immortal's now starting to rein him back in then. I wonder if Sam Swift Ninja's got a high downforce setup on that kick Sauber. Cody has got Nameless has got past, and Hannington also lost out, or has he? Because Delando's off the circuit and dropped down into 17th position there. It's the former bronze champion now. Issues there for Delando. Sam Swift Ninja set the fast up of the race there. The Ferrari driver is coming into the pit. No, yes, he's staying out there. I was caught out there. And so Immortal is in DRS range into the first sector then, on board now with Immortal. This is going to be crucial, isn't it, I think, for the outcome of the race, and keeping DRS very much in your sights. Equals all over the back of Potstuff. Look at the harvesting going on already here, only on lap 2 of this race. Goodness gracious me, these drivers are going to be very much electrical engineers, aren't they? Look at so Samson Ninja tried to break out the DRS, and he almost done it, but Immortal, it's not happened this. It's not to give it up, is it? Sam Swift Ninja, just them touching the Armco barrier. My word then, look at the top two. They're racing away at the moment. They're absolutely racing away then. And look at Immortal is all over the gearbox of the world champion Sam Swift Ninja then. Of course, Immortal is the heir to Sam Swift Ninja's world championship at this moment though. But Sam Swift Ninja's is on an absolute tear. What's happened in the background? I'm sure it's on debris there. Flippy's had an issue, and now Potstuff is up into 5th position. Potstuff and Williams would be overjoyed to get some points there. None of them got DRS yet, because the DRS cut opens now. Flippy has got back past it, as Immortal has not through, but Brabbit's through and up into 3rd position there. And Potstuff surprisingly has not got through there. I thought he was going to get through then after. I'm not sure if Flippy made a mistake there, or whatever the case may be, but still it's all fine dandy. Everyone I think is still in DRS range, which is very impressive stuff indeed there. As Potstuff is look at the fastest upside. They're tumbling on their Potstuff's currently still in 6th position in the Williams there. Incredible stuff indeed that Sam Swift Ninja then has repelled the attack of Immortal, but Brabbit is also now starting to home in as well. Brabbit getting past Van Von and moving himself up the order. You can see that in the biggest movers and shakers that unfortunately Nameless down 6 positions there, and Mad Max also down 6 positions as well. Biggest winners then is definitely Morris. He's at 5 positions in that second Haas machine. Very good driving indeed there from Morris, and he'll be happy with that performance after a pretty disappointing qualifying, albeit he was very much helping his teammate Brabbit. Mad Max is debris there has come off the Mad Max's car. Contact with Huffy, and Mad Max there, and locking up the inside tyre there was Huffy. Contact again between Mad Max and Huffy. It's getting, I gotta say, the debutant is getting a bit of a robust lesson in racing at the moment today. Oh, goodness gracious me. That's getting a bit frantic there. I think the debris off the curb actually, isn't it? It's not coming off the cars there, but it does make it look much more spectacular than what it actually is there. Back on board with Immortal as we are gaining on Sam Swift Ninja, but at the moment Sam Swift Ninja that's still keeping him at bay then. But I think Immortal is going to go for it. He has a look, but nothing more than Brabbit's also in the facility as well. Flippy's got past Van Von. Van Von has dropped down 2 positions now. I wonder if he's got too much of a big rear wing on the back of that back straight, which is costing him. Chaz has dropped down into 15th as well. This is where it's going to be the action zone, as we got Huffy, Mad Max and Delando having an almighty scrap there for 17th, 18th and 19th position. Lap 4 of this race, no safety car yet. The safety car probability around here is quite high. Now all of a sudden the front two that raced away after the second lap then is now all of a sudden they started to concertina back up here. Now we got Brabit, Flippy and Van Von, followed by Potstuff, Equal, Savasta, all very much fighting line on stern. There they are, and even we've even got Legends and Cam also in DRS well, all the way down to Morris in first position. We've got a DRS train out there at the moment. Oh my word there. Lap 4 of this Grand Prix. Cody and Huff have swapped positions there, and Huffy is now up into 60 for this. A great race there. Of course, as Mad Max down into 18th position in the Alpine drivers. Cody going up the inside there as Huffy's had to take evasive action, and Cody and Huffy they're fighting, but the more they fight, the more they're losing that time. And it's of course sometimes we just love a good old scrap, don't we? Down the strip again. It's Brabit there trying to break the slipstream already there. Once again, and Sam Swift into that lap 4 of this Grand Prix is now starting to really think about getting defensive here, because here comes a Motor before DRS is even been made available is going to take the lead. He takes the lead, and that's our first lead change here in Las Vegas. Passes the world champion. Brabit also involved in that as well. Was that contact? I'm not sure if there was contact between Potstuff and another driver. I'm not sure if it was Equals there. As now then Potstuff and Equals all over the gearbox, and followed by Savasta as well. Incredible 17. Is that Equals who's almost out of DRS range? So someone's got a bit of a gap, haven't they? I think it might be Flippy actually. Going down into turn 1 then. On the outside goes Equals. He's going up the inside though into turn 4 as he's going to have a look. Not quite though, as Potstuff goes on the outside, gets much more grip on the outside there, because that is the traditional racing line, isn't there? So much more purchase from the Pirelli tyres. Wow. My goodness gracious me. As Hannington is now into the top 10, gets past Legends, who is down in the 11th position. So that is not ideal then for the Kick Sauber team. Of course, Kick Sauber want to be a part of the Constructors' battle still, albeit it's such a long shot now with Racing Bull in their first official season of ALR is going to win the Constructors for their first season. Goodness me, they're emulating the Brawn GP from 2009. Incredible, but hopefully, unlike Brawn GP, we'll have the Racing Bulls back next season. Brabit there, leaning his head to the right-hand side already there. Goodness me, then, of course, there's going to be a longer race for Brabit. We're on lap 5 already. There we've still got 20 more laps to go. Potstuff loves a good ram, and goodness gracious me, absolute profanity in the old. Is it profanity? Oh, I don't know. Goodness me. So just on board Savasta, and then Tulu has got past Legend to move himself up into 11th position then, but that Legend is not going to have any of that then, as we got whoa, what's happened? And it's Savasta who's off the circuit, as we just caught the end of that. There is contact there, he spins the car around, but Savasta down into 15th position there. Oh my goodness gracious me, Van Von, who's out? I think that Van Von is into the pits there, so Van Von is in early. He doesn't look, he's got damage there, but the Red Bull driver is coming. Was that contact between the Alpine? But no, so there's no wing change there for the Red Bull, but he's coming out of the pits now. Van Von is the first driver onto the hard compound tyres. Into the pits is Delando as well, back at the front. Look at the gap. Potstuff is now 2.5 behind the top 4. So the top 4 racing the way down, and it's the top 4 that is also the top 4 in the Drivers' Championship as well. Brabit, it is Flippy, it is Sam Swift, it is Immortal. And goodness gracious me, currently as it stands, Immortal will extend his lead and be over a race win in front of Sam Swift and Ninja with 2 races to go. But we've got a long way in this race yet then. But it's very much pressure at the moment. Legends currently in 10th position. Legends currently in 10th position at this moment then in the Kick Sauber. So Legends are hoping to get up the order as well, of course. It's very much a crucial part of the season for a lot of drivers and teams out there, isn't it? A point here and there will gain them points in the joint constructors and of course in the Constructors' Championship as well. Equals all over Potstuff. Potstuff has lost a lot of time there, and now here comes Equals up into 5th position there. Equals did say scraps after qualifying, but his race trip is pretty impressive around here. Serious Mushroom. No DRS here will be painful, and we've just seen that from Pot Stuff's point of view. Morris has passed Chazza and moved himself over to 12th position there. So Morris also coming through the field nicely indeed there. And Saturn, the Haas team would be loving that. Sunswift Ninja then is now starting to put pressure once again on the World Championship leader back down into turn 1. So Van Bolten then is on the hard tires. Delando's on the hard tires as well. Can the hard tires go to the end from here then? I must say, with the amount of straights around here, I do feel that the tyre wear is going to be so low in this race. So maybe early pit stops might hand them the advantage there. But however, it might come back to bite them later on. There's a lot of mights in those statements, isn't it? Because it means I have no idea what's going on in this race. In this one, Toulouse is fighting with Hannington as well, who's got no DRS, and then we've got Legends, then we've got Nameless as well in 11th position. Nameless has recovered quite nicely. So Delano out of the Grand Prix, and that's our first retirement, and that's unfortunately Delano's 5th retirement of the season. And goodness me, of course, a lot of those retirements have come since round 13, but Delano is our first retiree of Las Vegas now, and I think that he's going to hit the tables, I think, then, is Delano. Is it tables there, or is it roulette around here? I think there's all kinds of gambling around here, isn't there? Of course, but of course, when the fun stops, all that kind of stuff. Here comes Sam Swift Ninja, and he's all over the gearbox of the championship leader, his rival, lap 7, and he takes the lead of the Las Vegas Grand Prix once again. Cam has got past Potstuff, who's lost 2 positions in the last 2 laps there, and Hallington, Tulu and Hallington have also swapped positions as well. Hallington's actually dropped 3 positions here, because now also through as well is Legends, I say 3. 2 positions, I should say. My goodness gracious me. But back at the front then is Flippy's dropping back a bit. I wonder if he's doing a bit of harvesting. Well, he is he wasn't harvesting, going down the back straight there. Equals is 6 in front of Cam, who is Pot Stuff. Big lock up there from Cam. This is a strong performance from Cam, who's had a pretty dire season. But in the last couple of races, since the Hungarian Grand Prix, Cam is scored in every race apart from a DNF in Azerbaijan. So Cam is very much back on the ascendancy. And of course, remember when he first made his debut in ALR Grand Prix racing in Brazil a few seasons ago. Of course, he got that pole position on his debut there. What a way to make your debut with a splash there. He's going to hit something. He's going to hit something, all right, says Serious Mushroom. I must admit, I've forgotten who we're talking about. As out of the pits comes Cody on the hard tire spot in front of Mad Max. Van Bon is now all over the back of Huffy. The problem, though, is that to come in the pits early is you're going to be coming into traffic. And look at the amount of time that Van Bon's losing here, because Huffy has not got the traction in that racing ball, of course. Huffy making his David's not in ALR, but of course as it cuts across the racing ball, of course, unlike real life one, of course, the racing balls are not going to be helping each other. I do not think that. As a Malta then breaking out of this slipstream now. I'm wondering if he's happy just to stay back. Flippy is about half a second away as he goes down the hill. Cam is through up into 5th position now, driving superbly well. This is his best result of the season. If he can stay there with 8 on lap 8, then out of 25. Potstuff in 10th position there, Tulu in 8th, Hannington is in 9th with Legends in 10th position, Nameless in 11th, 3.5 seconds back as Chazza, then Morris in the 13th position there. Into the pits comes, and also in the pits as well, so into the pits is Equals and the Kick Sauber. Chazza, followed by Morris, then we've got Van Von, Huffy, Savasta, Cody and Mad Max. Only 1 retirement so far, which of course is the Ferrari driver of Delano. Down the first of the 2 long straights, and of course at out of turn 5 we come down. Look at all the rain lights flashing. We are not expecting rain, but of course that is the harvesting going on. Potstuff is now a 2.5 back. Cam is flying out there now, isn't he? He's 2.8 seconds back. Keep a mental note of that gap, because he could be potentially on the ascendancy. There he is in the background, the green mean machine of the Aston Martin. Potstuff in 6th position now, 1.5 seconds back. And once again, then we're going on the back straight. But once again, we're on board with Immortal. Currently at the stands, he's losing another 7 points then in the World Championship, which means it'll be down to 15 points, I think, in the championship. Currently 22. It'll be down to 15 then with just 2 races to go. And one of the closest championships in ALR history. I think in terms of gold, we've only had 1 race go to the final, go down to the wire, which of course was Granty Boy against Emerson in season 2, where it all went to pot for Emerson on lap 1 of corner 1 in average. There was contact between himself and Dan Murphy, and they did not exchange Christmas cards that season. Over the grid third hatch as well. Sound Swift Ninja then still leads, and here's Immortal, Brabbit followed by Flippy. Cam has got Cam and Potstuff. Whoa, look at Potstuff. How much does he push it coming in the pits there? He is flying in the Williams tonight. Hallington has stayed out there. Nameless into the pits. Oh, it's a 10-second penalty for Chazza. He was driving superbly well, was the McLaren driver. That is going to be costly, unfortunately, unless there's a safety car which might spare Chaz's blushes, but unfortunately not the case. Cody's got the first 3-second penalty of the evening then, as Mad Max currently has got the fastest lap out on circuit as well. Back in the front, Sounds of Ninja is leading the way. Toulouse has got past Potstuff. Of course, now, and look at this, and goodness me, it's a Potstuff and Toulouse, and there's also a Huffy as well, going on the inside. No, that's going to be costly for Toulouse, and he's gone for the undercut here. That's quite a powerful undercut, actually, isn't it? Goodness gracious me. So Toulouse is, now that he's getting held up by Huffy here, which in turn is helping Potstuff, which is also in turn helping Legend, and maybe even Sebastian, who had to come to pits earlier than expected, potentially, for the second Alpine machine. And there you'll see him in the background. There's the pink and blue machine of Sebastian, now in 13th position. My goodness gracious me, we got to change from the lead whilst I was waffling. And there he is, and Immortal retakes the lead of the Grand Prix. And look at the top four there. You can't even see Hannington there in that long shot there. There he is in 5th position, kind of all on his lonesome is Hannington. I think it's the last of the runs apart from Huffy then to make a stop. Toulouse, and oh my goodness me, we're going to have 3 abreast there as unfortunately for Huffy, he has not got the tools for the job there. And now then his Potstuff gets past his arrival then. And the goodness me, not getting past Huffy has cost Toulouse a potential position there. And now it's the Aston Martin of Nameless getting past the fastest one. There's a spin in the background. It's Huffy off and into the Armco. Unfortunately there, and I wonder if he just broke traction there with those very used medium tyres. The top 5 have not stopped yet. My word then. Skip Toulouse, my darling. I got to be honest. I was going to say when Toulouse got past Potstuff, I was going to say Toulouse, but I thought that was very immature of me. So of course, I'm trying to turn over a new leaf and be a bit more mature in your commentary box, which I must say is not doing too well. I also feel very out of practice today. When you don't do the shtick for 2 weeks, I must admit I am a little like, oh. I am fumbling and all that kind of stuff, but then again, I am a good old fumbler anyway. That's why I don't play rugby anymore. As coming on to the back straight once again, and here he comes. Sounds of Ninja, half a second back. Brabbit is now 8/10 of a second away. Then he is still in DRS reach, which I think is the most important part of this race tonight. Is our resident pit reporter, Serious Motion, said, "Here comes Ninja, and he's gonna go through down the inside." He has taken the lead once again from his championship rival. The 7-point difference, I think, is going to be so crucial in this outcome of the World Championship there, where I don't think either driver is going to want to yield. Oh, I've swallowed my tongue. And now here comes Equals losing out to Cam then, because Cam is really seen the background as well. Into the pits comes the 2 race leaders and set 3rd and 4th position. They're all in at the same time. And so is Hannington as well. Then. About half distance, and they come into the pits and they do not they're using basically that is perfect for a one-stop strategy, which they're all on one stop to be fair, but even so, now Kaz Van Von is taking the lead, remember. Now let's see what is this. Look at that then, he's out just in front of Sound Swift Ninja. Mortal Brabbit's had a slow stop there, or a slower stop, because look at this, and he's dropped back from Mortal, and now here comes Cam, who's also, look at the undercut in this race, and that gap was about 2.8 seconds when we last checked in, and he's having a 4th position now. I wonder if the top 4 maybe got a bit, maybe it's just like follow the leader, and that's cost them potentially, because Brabbit is now out of that battle for the lead then, and then we've now got Van Von, and we've now got Cam involved as well. Can Cam get it in the DRS reach? He currently is the moment. Look at Equals also in that facility as well. We have had a lot of jumpers there according to that tower. Pot7 9th, for Legend in 10th, with a Nameless 11th and 12th position is Sebastian. Hannington on fresher, harder tyres has come out in 13th position. Chaz in 14th, but a 5 with that 10-second penalty, which is going to cost him, I feel. That is such shame because Chaz was on a good run of form. Here comes Sam Swift Ninja. He wants to get past quite pronto here, and this is going to be a very look how far back Immortal is. And now here comes Sam Swift Ninja. He's going to get past that Kaz. He has got past Kaz and takes the lead. And now he's going to try and do what he tried to do in the opening stage of this race and get out of DRS range. And get out of DRS range there is Potstuff and Toulouse is also swap positions once again, and great battles down that back straight then. Immortal is really struggling, isn't he, to fire up those tyres. Of course, he's a very good qualifier, and I'm wondering if in race trim that Immortal just struggles to fire up the harder tyre potentially, but he is out of DRS range. He's back in DRS range now as well, but you can see that Sam Swift Ninja is now starting to just pull away, isn't he? And Sam Swift Ninja, if he wins here tonight, will equal the number of wins that Immortal's got this season with 7. Of course, it's been very much Immortal's MO. It's been very much about consistency as well with 10 podiums, but Sam Swift Ninja's now also got 10 as well. My word, this could be getting very good indeed. Kaz has got a pit against a serious mission. Oh, so you think there's going to be a 2-stopper? Yellow flag. Oh gosh, what's happened? It's Mad Max on his debut for the Alpine team. It is going horribly wrong for Mad Max and in the French manufacturer. Unfortunately, is that a manufacturer? I suppose it is, isn't it? Even though it won't be engines, they won't be a manufacturer next season. Technically, will they? Because they'd be a customer team. Really, it was very odd. There we go. Look, Sam Swift Ninja is now almost out of DRS range of Kaz and Immortal. This is going to, I think this is a crucial part of the race now for Immortal and potential of his world championship as well. That 13 out of 25 here. Immortal, I feel he'll probably start to think he needs to get past pronto here as Kaz is having a look. Then I'm wondering if Kaz may go for a chance of overtake, but at the moment, no. Then I think the Sam Swift Ninja then was trying to get out of the DRS range. He hasn't done it this time, but I think that Sam Swift Ninja would be much happy to see Kaz Van Von behind him rather than the white nose Red Bull, even though it's a white Red Bull, isn't it? Rather than a dark blue Red Bull, albeit they do look very similar, don't they? Max, you're sacked, says Serious Merchant. Serious Merchant taking no prisoners in the employment line, is he? Goodness gracious me. Here's Cam, who's currently my driver of the day so far. Absolutely outstanding performance here from Cam, driving superbly well in this Aston Martin. And of course, it's been his best result this season so far, but he has to stay here, and that's a lot of understeer there for that Aston Martin. And the top 7 now very much all within DRS range of each other, and this is going to get very precarious indeed in the final stage of this Grand Prix. Lap 14 out of 25 here, and I've got a big old sweat patch now on me back. I don't know what it is, but for some reason my back is the most sweatiest part of my body. Well, apart from the other couple of points then, but there you go. As Toulouse is Ghost in there, and I'm not sure if that's legal or not. Goodness me, Legends has just ghosted through Toulouse. Is Toulouse in this race? Well, I'm not sure if that's well, that's not really a bona fide overtaking opportunity, to be honest. There is it for Legends, but he's through nonetheless. I don't think Toulouse is going to be too impressed with that, albeit he will have DRS. And look at this, Van Von has taken the lead, and then Samson, no he hasn't, it's Van Von, and look at this, it's getting very precarious. Immortal's down into 5th position there, and now all of a sudden it's gone very, look at that, look left, look right, and Toulouse left the session there, as far as Kaz down in 2nd position, Bravin 3rd, Immortal's down into 4th there, and Flippy has made contact, I think, with Van Von. So Samson Ninja has found 2 seconds there into the pits. So Serious Mushroom is right there. And goodness gracious me. And now back at the front end. And Immortal's down at the inside contact. And he's down into 4th position now. And Cam is now back at, there's too many Cams, Van Bons and all that kind of stuff. And now on the inside goes Flippy. And look at this as Bravin's trying to break the slipstream. Immortal is going to lose more points here in the World Championship. My goodness gracious me. On the inside goes Flippy. He dives at the inside. That's going to be contact between himself and the Aston Martin. Oh my goodness me, Immortal is now down into 5th position. The gap is, he's losing 15 points in this one now. The gap is going to be in single figures. Toulouse is out of the race at the moment now. Hopefully he can get back in pronto. French connection there, as also we have got also hello to you, my good sir. Oh, madam, there, goodness gracious me, I could be in a lot of trouble for that. Then it's Alex there will probably be slapping me on the wrist there for that assument there. But yes, look at him, not doesn't want to peek there, does he? One incredible battle down the strip there. Mortal's mission critical now. Currently is still leading the World Championship, but once again, Sam Swift Ninja is eating into that championship there, and not getting past Van Von as soon as Sam Swift did. It's cost him majorly. Sam Swift Ninja's now 3 seconds in front then on lap 15 out of 25. And this race has gone nuclear in the last couple of laps there. My word then. Look at Equal's doing a good job indeed there. Hopefully Toulouse might be back in the session, and I've just seen the tower flash at me. So here comes Immortal then trying to get past Flippy. Brabbit then is now the leader of this gang then. Brabbit currently leads. Cam in second there, but he is squirreling all over the place, isn't he? So heel, Sean. Absolutely, I've got a big heel as well. I need to get the foot scraper, I think. That's disgusting. So Toulouse down in the 13th position. Chaz is up to 12th. Great driving from Chaz, but unfortunately for Chaz's point of view, he does have a 10-second penalty under 10 laps to go in this race. Immortal's down into 5th position then. So Immortal's gone from losing 7 points to now losing double that. He's now losing 15 points then to his championship rival. He's only scoring 10, while Soundswift Ninja once again is scoring the maximum 25 here. Equals is almost at a DRS race, but there's no danger from behind at the moment with Potstuff is about 3.5 seconds back with Potstuff on course to get his first points of the season with a great drive from Potstuff. My goodness me. No, that's his name, lol. Oh. No, I apologise. Shocking something. And Toulouse left the session again. That's not good, is it? On board once again then with Immortal. Then every position is critical now, I feel, for the outcome of this World Championship. Silence with Ninja then is very much like Verstappen, isn't he? I was comparing like Silence with Ninja to the Silence with Ninja to Verstappen, whilst Immortal has been very much the role of Piastri and Norris, haven't they? Silence with Ninja is very much cue the Jaws music, isn't it? There, that he's just eaten into Mortal's lead quite considerably now in this championship, and a championship which Soundswift Ninja did dismiss a few races ago now, has all of a sudden really become a realistic opportunity, and potentially Qatar he could take the lead in the championship as well. So it is very much swings and roundabouts here, but Immortal down in 5th position at the moment. My goodness gracious me. Soundswift Ninja now got a 3-second lead over Brabbit in second. Cam in third. Flippy in 4th position. On board with Immortal. We're on board with Immortal in 5th position. Equals in 6th. 7th is Potstuff. Legends is in 8th position. Nameless in 9th. Savasta recovered up into 10th position considerably. But Hannington now showing that he is a natural talent in Grand Prix races. He's in 11th position there. It's been a difficult race for Hannington, but my goodness gracious me there. He is still on the outer echelons of the points. Fantastic driving. And then we have got Charles at 10-second penalty. Then we've got Kaz Van Von. He's the only driver, I think, doing 2-stop strategy. I'm surprised, to be fair. I thought he could have gone all the way, but taking him out there. Morris down in 14th position. Toulouse out of the race at the moment unless he get himself back in. Cody in 16th. Huffy in 17th. And Mad Max having a horror show down in 18th position there. Samo is dismissed his chances, says Sirius Russia. I must admit, it did look like a long shot, didn't it, a couple of races ago? But all of a sudden, it's just so, it's like the real F125 season, isn't it? It's all of a sudden swung back in the favour of the former world champion. My goodness gracious me, former world champion, I mean current world champion. Across the line once again, as Hannington is now past Savasta and moving himself into the top 10. Great driving from the Williams reserve, and now he's up to 9. Wow, he's up on 2 points there. That's his best result of his ALR career. In terms of gold, anyway, is Nameless having a look there, but no dice there going down into turn 1. Legends there is currently boosting Kick Sauber up to 29 points then, which I think is just about enough to keep Kick Sauber in. No, it's not actually, because Mortal's scoring. So at the moment, Racing Bulls will be happy because they will claim the Constructors' Championship. Cody's got a 10-second penalty. However, unless he gets a no score tonight for Mortal, then the championship will go down to Qatar. But in terms of drivers, it certainly is going down to Qatar at the very least. And with Mortal down into 5th position, we're on board now with the championship championship leader. It's still not, I don't think it's still panic stations just yet, but Soundswift Ninja is getting closer and closer now to that championship. Equals is still in DRS range. Lap 18 and out of 25. Soundswift Ninja has checked out at the front. If you're just joining us, it's been an absolute razzle dazzle of a Grand Prix. And now we have got more battles down. Of course, we had an incredible battle, like 3-4 car battle. Yellow flag said there's something gone awry. I think it's for the second racing ball of Huffing. Oh, it's the other racing ball getting all kinds of opposite lock on there. Mortal, that's going to lose a bit of time then. And now Flippy and Cam then fighting for that final podium place as well. It's not over till it's over. 6 laps in this race still to run. Flippy then in 4th position at this moment. And Cam is driving superbly well. This will be his first podium in a long time for Cam there. My goodness gracious, this is the old Cam we're seeing. Hallington has swapped positions there as he's now down to 9th finish there. Sebastian's dropping down the order. He's now down in 12th position. I'm wondering if maybe a 2-stop was actually the way to go. Cam Van Voort is flying through the field on those fresh medium tires. Hallington, great helmet by the way. That's a fantastic helmet from Hallington, and he's all over the gearbox of the Aston Martin. We haven't seen much overtaken down this straight then, but we were going to see it now of Hallington. Through he goes in 9th position. Oh, but the Aston Martin hanging on the outside. Great awareness there from both drivers, as of course we have seen in other championships there where potentially they would have driven into each other or just merged into each other. And Nameless still keeps 9th position. Great defending, but now because of that battling, it's allowed Kaz back into the facility. Back here where very much our focus is very much on for the championship outcome in this Grand Prix. Magnificent stuff indeed there. Brabant, now we've got soft tires going on for Tom Huffy. Remember that you still can get a pass at that point then, even if you're not in the top 10. Cam there is going to run out of straight, believe it or not, down that strip there. You can see in the back of there's pot stuff kind of all on his lonesome there. As more battling, and here comes Van Voort. I think the Van Voort's through, is he? He is through, but now we're going to have 3 abreast. We have got 3 abreast between Nameless, Hallington and Van Voort as well. Look at this, they're almost touching. And now going down into the one of the corners. I can't remember the numbers now. And Nameless is still in front of Van Voort. I'm surprised by that, but Van Voort, even with those fresh tires, just didn't have the top end spin. You can see he's harvesting now, and that's also hurting him as well. There is Legends in the foreground, and now coming through the start finish straight once again, albeit it's a very curvy straight, isn't it? Wow, and incredible stuff indeed in the Aston Martin going wide. Nameless, there's contact between the 2 cars as Van Voort there trying to get, he wants to get a shift on this because he can see 8th position disappearing down the road, and maybe even 7th as well. I think 7th might be a bit of a stretch there. Van Voort up the inside, he's going to take 9th finish now. Oh no, they've come together. That's going to force Nameless into the wall. It has forced Nameless into the wall, and now Hallington got on the outside of Van Voort. Van Voort then is very much getting a bit aggressive here and getting his elbows out. Oh my word. Incident went off there, unfortunately for Toulouse, so that's unfortunate for Toulouse, and he's out of the Grand Prix, and I think Toulouse would have been on course for some decent points here tonight. He was certainly very much in the top 10, and I think would have finished in the top 10 as well. That's disappointment, unfortunately for Toulouse in that Mercedes car. Here comes Flippy then, and look at that Aston Martin. That red light is flashing. That doesn't mean it's rain, even though I don't think we're going to get rain here in the desert, but I think it's more likely to be, of course, the amount of electrical deployment. And now Immortal is pushing Flippy out of the chicane and out of the final corner. Hallington has got back past Van Voort in that incredible battle as well. Let's go back to this battle here. Oh, and Van Voort is off the circuit, is he? No, he isn't. Who's off the circuit? It's Sebastian's off the circuit there, and he's gone right off the runoff area. It's been a difficult day for Sebastian, down in 14th position now, as Van Voort is dropped down into 10th position. Back at this gaggle of cars here. Brabant is still in second, Cam third, Flippy and Immortal 4th and 5th. And my goodness gracious me, then this, of course, that action down that back straight, then of course a few laps ago has really hurt Immortal. He cannot go for a Dan Deere move though, can he? Because he will lose his front nose cone, which ultimately, as it stands, will lose the championship there. So it's very much, you can't just throw caution to the wind, can you? It's a tough decision indeed for the championship leader. Driver of the day is out. Sam, Brabant, Flippy and Equals for your driver of the day. I would have thrown Cam in there, to be honest. But yeah, get your votes in now then. And I must say that I must say that's a tough decision indeed, then, isn't it? I definitely would have said Kaz. Kaz is Kaz like a wrecking ball. Isn't that what Miley Cyrus said? Well, came like a wrecking ball. Was that Taylor Swift? I do not know, to be honest. My pop music is not ideal. Huffy gets the fast upgrades on this debut as well. He's going to emulate Nico Rosberg potentially in the 2006 Bahrain Grand Prix. We still got 4 laps to go in this race, but that could be very cool indeed there for Huffy. Here comes Van Von, who would probably be even cooler for Van Von to get an extra point to make it 2 on his agenda. He has got 2, and now also through is the Aston Martin. And then it's going to go on the inside. That has contact, and how did he keep that car from going into the wall is beyond me. Fantastic driving indeed. And now we got Hannington, who is very much going to try and get past them. Nameless going down the start-finish straight there. He is through. He is through. Great driving there. Goodness me, these drivers are not just overtaking down the strip, they're overtaking here, there, and everywhere. There's an Alpine in the pit lane now. I think that's Mad Max coming in the pits for some fresh boots then from fresh boots then. I was going to say a top, maybe a bit of drink of water for the engine, but unfortunately, though he did have refueling in F1. What was it for? 22 out of 25, but it's still status quo. Sam Swift Ninja leads the race and is going to go get his 7th win of the season, and is going to really eat into a Immortal lead by another 15 points. And the gap in the moment is 22 points. And 22 minus 15 shot. Oh, and Immortal's in the wall! Oh my goodness me! And Immortal's damaged the front of the car! Oh my goodness gracious me! And I was trying to work it out, but that is a horror show for the world champion! And it is all falling apart for Immortal with just 3 races to go. It has been one of the most incredible seasons on career of ALR, but all of a sudden it has gone wrong, and he's lost another 2 points, and he's got damage as well, and pot stuff is in striking distance. I think he should be able to keep going from there, but even so, that is a horror show. An absolute horror show for Immortal. That's another 2 points drop then. He could have got 2 points gain if he got past Flippy, but that is not good at all. Lap 23 of this incredible race then. And my goodness gracious me. And look at that, he's struggling. Immortal is struggling up there, and he's gone wide, and Pot Stuff could see Immortal struggling, and Pot Stuff aiming to score points this season for the first time. Oh goodness gracious me. Currently the Constructors' Championship is going to Racing Bulls, but Immortal is very much, it's going to be a horror show for Immortal, isn't it? Goodness gracious me. Oh my goodness me. And there is Immortal. He is limping. Is he? There is the damage to the car. Oh gosh. Gap is down to that gap is down to another 2 points then, and all of a sudden it'll be 17 point swing then. I got 18, 19, 20, 22. So I think the gap is going to be 5 points separate Sam Swift Ninja and Immortal with 2 races to go. And it could even be 3 points if Pot Stuff gets his way, because Pot Stuff is really hunting him down now with just 2 laps to go in this Grand Prix. 6 seconds the gap is now, as Sam Swift Ninja is going to win 3 races in a row. And of course he's been on the podium all the times in the last 3 races. And of course the last time that he didn't finish on the podium was actually Austria. He did have a retirement in the Italian Grand Prix, but apart from that, Sam Swift Ninja's been on the podium in every single race since the Italian Grand Prix. My goodness gracious me. Immortal's just got to get the car home now then, but Immortal is on the front row of the grid. It looked all good. The second half of this race has been a horror show for Immortal. It really has, and that's another 2 point slip then. Those 2 points could be crucial for the outcome of the World Championship. My word. That is incredible. And of course, our gang of 5 cars is now down to 3 cars here, as now then is Cam there trying to defend at the inside there, but because Flippy cannot get through them, and Cam on course to score is I think it's his 3rd podium of his career. He hasn't had a podium in a very long time, but the Aston Martin driver, he's been superb as in the last couple of races there. In these last 4 or 5 races, apart from that retirement in Azerbaijan, he has been superb, Cam has said, and this is the kind of performance we was expecting from Cam there. Of course, when he first burst onto the scene, very much like Mika Richards in Man City, but Cam very much burst onto the scene in ALR, getting a pole position on his debut. Of course, so it has been up and down since then. That's it. But what a performance here from Cam. I'm sure he's got a podium. Hang on, let me have a look. Let me get the Oda stat book up, shall we? Because I'm starting to doubt myself. I'm also dribbling everywhere as well. Yes, he's had 2 podiums. He's aiming for his 3rd tonight. Can he stay there? Because Flippy would love to get another podium. podium to really cap off what has been a superlative year. Brabant's got 57% of the vote, 29 for Equals, 14% for Sam Swift and Ninja. As my goodness me, flipping out is pushing the Aston Martin. But still staying in DRS as we're on the final lap of the race. And the gap is now under 2 seconds. Legend is down to 9th position. Van Von has moved himself up into 8th. The only driver to go on to a 2-stop strategy. So I'm not sure if that was the right way there, but we could have made up positions. It might have dropped off the cliff. I do not know that. But even so, I feel like the only driver to do 2 stoppers in the top 10 or the top 14. I feel top 13, I should say. But I feel that might have been the wrong call potentially. I voted for Equals. I would have voted for Cam. I think he's going superbly well. But the gods have decided to go against the grain there. Just watching Cam there really fighting away. Soundswift Ninja going to go for a 7th win of the season, and it's going to really lower the bar down now to just 5 points, I think, in the championship there. Goodness gracious me! I love that static camera shot. That's a beautiful camera shot. Now, how much deployment has Cam got? Can Cam get 2nd position? Or can Flippy get 3rd position, actually? And so there's going to be a lot of questions that need to be answered on this final run down the strip then, as we're on lap 25 out of 25. Soundswift Ninja's coming out of the final chicane for the 25th and final time. Here comes Cam, and Brabant there is defending the inside. And I'm wondering then if Cam might just think about that and think what a great podium has been. Here comes Soundswift Ninja, and this is a crucial win in the outcome of the World Championship. He wins the Las Vegas Grand Prix by a country mile, and Soundswift Ninja is now just within 5 points then, I think, of the championship leader. Cam in 3rd position. What a drive from Cam, an absolutely superb drive from Cam. And Flippy's left the session, but he is still going to be classified 4th position this one. Immortal only 8 points then. Soundswift Ninja with another Grand Prix win, there, which is superb stuff indeed then. But the championship is, let me get my own spreadsheet up. The championship is now 5 points separates Soundswift Ninja and Immortal with just 2 rounds to go. 52 points is up for grabs there. But Soundswift, we got another card in the war. But Soundswift Ninja is done it. He has been great today, Soundswift Ninja. That 2nd stint was absolutely mega stuff from the triple world champion. Immortal only getting 8 points today, which means that the gap is down to 5 points with just 2 rounds to go. Oh my giddy gosh. Driver of the day then is Brabant, 44% vote. Goodness gracious me, I'm losing all the comments there as well. Right, where's I vote for Brabant. Brabant has had enough. Thanks very much. And congratulations, Brabant, Sam, and Cam. Great job indeed. Cam, great drive today. He's been superb. Fun race and Mortal. Yes, that crucial mistake has cost him an extra 2 points. The gap's gone from 7 to 5 points. The gap was 22 at the start of the race. Then it went down to 7 points in the final stage race. But that extra mistake there from Immortal has meant that the championship's now been whittled down to 5 points with 2 races remaining. And 52 points up for grabs. This season is going to finish on an absolute cliffhanger, isn't it? Goodness gracious me. I cannot wait. Soundswift Ninja's 7th win of his season then. And it's now 5 points away from Immortal in the championship. The gap has come down again. Brabant in 2nd position. Cam, his 1st podium in a long time. His 3rd podium of his career. 4th position was Flippy with Equals in 5th. Immortal in 6th. Pot Stuff in 7th. Cam recovered to 8th position. Now 2-stop stride. I don't think it was the way to go. Legends in 9th position. Haddington is in 10th position. His 1st points in his 1st race in gold. 11th position is Nameless with Morris in 12th. Chance of that 10-second penalty cost him, I think, but 13th in the end. Savasta, fastest lap point there, and 14th position. 15th was Cody. Tom Huffy in his debut, 16th. Flippy, 17th for Toulouse, 18th for Mad Max, and retirement for Delano. Also Toulouse out of the Grand Prix as well. And also a huge congratulations as the Race and Ball team, now the Constructors champions for the first time in their career, and the first time that they've actually raced in gold as well. So hats off to Race and Ball. Fantastic stuff indeed. Right, I've got some drivers in the in the old commentary box there. Let me just see if my sound settings are all right. It is indeed. Goodness me, I am very much on fire today, and that's not a ginger joke either. Let's go to Cam first. And Cam, what a drive to third position! It's your first podium in a long time. It's your third podium of your career as well. But absolutely outstanding drive. And you, as my personal driver today, I bet you're head over heels, aren't you?
I, I don't really know what's happened, to be honest. All I knew is that I got punted like pretty hard into the.
Can you sound?
I got punted pretty hard into turn one, and then it kind of was a recovery drive from there. Dropped to 10th, and then I got to about 4 seconds behind the like the lead pack of four after, before the pit stop. Went for an undercut, and then it was just sitting behind Rabbit and praying that they wouldn't go for a dive.
I've been saying throughout the. Oops, I've just kicked myself. I've been saying throughout the course of the stream that you've been in absolutely fine battle. Apart from the blip in Azerbaijan, you've been scoring points left, right, and centre. What has changed for you in the second half of the season? Is it the circuit? Is it your driving style? Have you got more confidence in that Aston Martin?
I think, to be honest, it's the help from my teammate throughout the season. Because at the start, I was struggling a lot with setups and I couldn't get a grip with this game at all. But Nameless has been helping me with setups and strategies, and I've been putting in a bit more practice. So I think it is just getting to grips more with the game and having better setups and strategies for the races. But today it was, I honestly I don't know where the pace has come from.
You've been absolutely superb then. Of course, with just 2 rounds to go after this one, I must say you're kind of maybe are you aiming to be high up as a championship as possible, or are you aiming for more podiums and win then? Because it's kind of a bit of a difficult situation really from the season you've had then. But what is your aim for the remainder of the season?
I think, to be honest, I'm mainly just aiming to get as high up in the standings as I can. I think season's a bit of a write-off, so whatever I can get is I'll take.
Really good stuff today. Well done, Cam. A brilliant job for your first podium in a long time. Fantastic stuff. What a drive. Brabbit, you finished second today, and my goodness me, it was getting very, very much squeaky bum time down that strip there. Goodness gracious me, there's cars left, right, and centre. But a second position today. How are you feeling?
Well, first of all, thank you very much for the praise. A tough race with a really, really cool and nice move in turn one, where I think Immortal was attacking and Cam was there as well, and I was taking the switchback and getting both positions. So this was one of my best overtakes in the season, I think. So really happy about that. And yeah, the race was tough. I liked it. First of all, huge shout out to Jamie for the impressive slipstreams two times. So with his slipstream, I was able to finish in the top four, I think. So this is um, his reward. So thank you for that, Jamie. Thank you very much. And the race was quite good. Um, yeah, like I was expecting the second stint to have switching positions with Cam. Like I was not sure if I could stay in front because of the long straight and DRS, and it was so hard to manage everything perfectly to stay in front and to have some battery left for the following straight. So I'm really happy about that. And yeah, really happy about the race. Congrats to Cam for the podium. Really, really nice drive. And also congrats to Sam for the win. I think it was the quickest run today in quali and in race, so he deserves it.
And I think that's not sealed your third position yet in the championship, but another good result then, and you're going to be third in the gold championship. But are you happy about things like that, or is it just third position? That's fine, but it's more of an attack on the championship next year.
I'm really, really glad to be in that position right now. Like, I remember my first season gold. It was quite horrible. I think in 20 or 24 races, my best race was a P6, and last year was better. I was fighting for good positions, for good points, and for a few podiums. Really happy about that. And this season is just amazing. Like I think I made a step forward in the performance, in preparation, in mental skills and everything. I think I bring everything together, except the qualifying. This is still something I lack of, but I will work on it, and yeah, I'm really happy about that. Really glad to be in that good position, and I hope I can finish the season on a high.
Really good stuff today. Well done, Brabant. Great drive to the second position. Sam Swift and Sam Swift Ninja, goodness gracious me. It's been a crucial win today. Then it's your 7th win of your season. But of course, as well, the championship has been whittled down to 5 points. But firstly, talk about the race then. The first half of the race was very much a tense affair, but the second half race seems to be like a lovely Sunday drive.
Yeah, I mean, I've got to dedicate this win to Legend, because if it wasn't for Legend giving me that slipstream, I don't think I would have won the Grand Prix, because I definitely wouldn't have got pole position, which obviously gave me the best opportunity of winning this race. So if it weren't for Legend, I definitely wouldn't be in the com box right now. But yeah, the first stint was really annoying, obviously, because with this track it's just slipstreaming. I slipstream frenzy and it just DRS training off each other. And it was really frustrating because I feel like I did have the pace in the first 2 sectors of the track, which I could get to like nearly a second, but then literally down the massive long straight, I was just losing a second with the DRS and the slipstream and the battery that everyone was using. So it was very frustrating. And then in the second part of the race, I don't know what happened. I don't know how I managed to get the gap. I don't know what happened behind me, but I mean, I'm thankful for it, because I was getting really annoyed with the DRS slipstreaming train. So I'll definitely take it this week.
And now you're only 5 points away from Immortal in the championship. Then it's very much, I've been comparing you to Max Verstappen, and of course Immortal being the 2 McLaren guys. Then it's very much cue the Jules music. You're now within 5 points then of the championship lead. Then going into just the final 2 races there. Would you have any comments on that? It's been a superb comeback.
Oh yeah, I don't know how I've managed to do it. Obviously, I said a few races ago when I was like 60 points back at Monza that the race afterwards I had no chance. But I just don't. I have no words, to be honest. I don't know how I've managed to do it, but I did say at the start of the season that these was the tracks that I was good at, and obviously I want to try and win as many races as possible. And it's coming in clutch that Immortals just having a bit of an off part of the season, which I hope continues, because I mean, it's looking now that I have a slightly higher chance than 0, shall we say, of winning the championship. But I mean, we've got to take it still one race at a time.
And I gotta say, it's absolutely fantastic. I love this. This is getting very much into the business end championship. Well done, Sam Smith Ninja, your 7th win of the season. Cam getting on the podium for the first time this season. Well, brilliant stuff indeed. And of course, Brabby getting second position. That is going to be it then for Las Vegas. Of course, gold will be back in action in Qatar in a week's time. Then tomorrow night is going to be silver. And of course, that championship is also very much on tenterhooks as well. I cannot wait for that. Right, I got to do some social media stuff then. So I'll see you all tomorrow. Goodbye. Oh no, and also congratulations to Race and Ball as well for winning the Constructors' Championship. Hats off to them, fantastic stuff indeed. Right now I'm going, goodbye.